Have you ever tipped before? I bet that if you live in North America and you use Visa, you've probably tipped before. If not, I don't blame you. Tipping is kind of ridiculous now, and to be fair, I actually haven't tipped before. But I do have an excuse. I save all my money because I like to hog it. Like last time I bought something was like about 2 months ago, and it was only like $5. I also never use a Visa either because I never really buy anything above like $10, so there's no point. But enough yapping about me hugging my money, and let's get into the actual tipping portion. Just to clarify, I'm not blaming these poor workers. Like, they have to balance school, work, social life, work, etc. Like, I think a tip would be nice during a shift of 5 hours of standing behind a desk and counting money. But, I'm sorry, I'm probably not going to leave a tip on my $2.50 purchase. It's kind of pointless. But at least there's someone doing the stuff for you. Unlike these self-service machines. Like, who in the absolute shit am I tipping here? Like, you walk up to the machine, scan the items yourself, and then pay. And this machine has the audacity to ask for a tip. Like, how is you really asking for a tip in this economy? It doesn't help that it probably starts at 25% too. Like, maybe if you're tipping the person supervising the self-checkout area. Like, tipping at self-checkout makes as much sense as me buying my phone complimentary read. Also, I've finished the script and read through it, and this next portion is basically just a story on terrible service, but I was too far in to delete it all, because I'd have like no video, so just deal with it or skip past it, I don't really mind. Now, time to get into the people who get tipped most often, waiters/waitresses. Tipping a self-checkout machine is pretty pointless, but when there is a person tending to your needs, bringing you food, keeping track of stuff, cleaning up after you, on top of doing that for not just your table, but multiple tables at the same time, that just seems pretty damn deserving of a tip if you ask me. That is the case unless you have a terrible experience. Like, I think you should tip your waitress/waiter unless your experience is awful. Also, ironic I say you should tip, even though I've called myself out for not tipping. But, yeah. What I mean by an awful experience is an awful experience, like, pretty self-explanatory. I've had an awful experience at a restaurant once. It wasn't too long ago, too. It was from like a month ago, depending on when you watch this. I will add the detail that I was with like 10 other people, but we didn't get food for 3 grueling hours. There's literally a person who didn't get their drink until after we waited 3 hours for our food. And what I mean by that is after waiting 3 hours for our food, he only just got his drink. Which is just ridiculous. Like, not to mention, all I ordered was plain pancakes. Plain pancakes! And them pancakes took a whopping 3 hours? It would have taken longer if somebody's parents I was with didn't pull a Karen and tell them that we still didn't get our food. It was only then that we got our food. I have 2 things to say about that. First off, after complaining, I got my pancakes quite literally 20 seconds after. That means they're either just sitting there or they made the pancakes in 20 seconds. Almost like they had Timmy from South Park run the kitchen because it does not take 3 hours to make pancakes. Second of all, those pancakes are just straight ass. I'd rather eat a nuclear reactor than those pancakes. I got like 3 pancakes, only ate half one. Like, I ordered plain pancakes and found ham in one. Not only that, but all the pancakes tasted like, oh, I don't even know. Like, I can't even explain what they taste like. They were just so bad. Which is honestly just sad because it's just a waste of food if I only ate half a pancake because they like shit on my pancakes. Even though it was kind of inedible, so not really wasting something you can't eat. The funny thing is, well, I guess it's not really too funny for me, but the funny thing is, after that restaurant, I felt terrible for the next 2 days, and after those 2 days, I felt dizzy and was coughing for the next 12 days, which were a long 12 days in my ad. That was an experience where I'd ask them to tip us. Like, I'll pull a reverse and point my phone at them with tipping options ranging from 150 to 300% of our bill. And I'd go trip the hell out of them too. I get it's hard to 10 people, but 3 hours for a drink is just out of this world. And all he asked for is like an orange juice or something. Who knows what the future of tipping will bring. If it continues to ramp up, I'll be moving my ass to the UK, which I don't want to do, because I don't fall into the stereotype of having hideous teeth, drinking tea, and always having a switchblade on me. I'm not re-recording that. Even though about 66% of North America is from British colonies. And if you don't get that, do your own research. Anyways, who knows what the future will bring. Also, I know I'm a little late to cover tipping because I remember it was ramping up and being memed on about 2 to 3 months ago. I only just came up with that idea while writing a script for a different video that I scrapped, so I guess you guys don't get to learn about trash ideas. Also, if you made it this far in, a like would be greatly appreciated. And I mean, come on, the subscribe button looks pretty lonely. That's all I'm saying. But genuinely, thank you for watching this far in. I'd also like to thank you guys for all the support on my last video talking about meta. Like 1.4k views is such a big milestone. So I'd just like to say thanks. Because you watched this far in, would you like to start tipping up 25%? Because that's probably where we're gonna be heading soon. Like, I bet you in the near future, Amazon will be taking tips to make Daddy Bezos more money. That's not saying I'll ever buy from Amazon again, because, well, let's be honest, he runs the online market. I wouldn't be surprised if he started spreading propaganda. I'd also not be surprised if I got kidnapped for saying that. Fingers crossed I'm still a free man in a week. Do we think that tipping is bad? No way. I think it's a token of great service. Well, I mean, at least it was. Now, you're kind of being guilt-tripped and peer pressured by the public. Also, what about them cooks in the back? They just gotta make food after food and get no opportunity to make tips? Like, I guess they do choose to be a cook apart from a server, but still, it seems a little unfair. Like, busting your ass to make 5 entrees for each table just to get 0 chance of getting extra money. Well, I mean, unless, like, the service people, unless the waitresses share their cut with like the cooks. But getting back on the top of tokens of, well, great service, I feel it's persevered away from a token of gratitude, a more mandatory extra check. Like, I do feel for these workers, but I don't want to be forced to tip you guys 35%. Also, I know you're not being held at gunpoint, but you basically are. Like, I sure as hell know that waiter is having the Glock 26 in his back pocket and is gonna shoot me on sight if I don't tip at least 50% on my, like, $500 meal. Well, I mean, that's a little untrue because I've never had a $500 meal, but all I can say is I feel like tippings became less a gratitude thing and more an extra tab that you're being forced to pay. If you don't, you'll be called a douche and crucified in the middle of the place you're in. Point is, tipping should be kept for the amazing, incredible service you've received, not the mediocre come to your table once every 20 minutes and take forever to get the drinks you've ordered. Yes, I know they can only do so much, but that's what makes tipping special, or at least what did make tipping special. Now that I've said all I can, it's time to come to an end. What can be concluded from this video is you'll be probably living in a shed by 2030 if tipping doesn't dimmer down. Unless you just have that Sigma don't be broke mindset, then you're fine. But with all that ado, thank you for watching all the way to the end, and hopefully you make your way back to my channel, or at least found this video entertaining. And I hope you have a great rest of your morning, day, or night, and goodbye.